what's the most important things to get going when you're starting off in terms of customer acquisition?
So I think if you're just starting, that's a loaded question, right? And it is going to vary per industry. But I think you've got to get the basics down. You've got to get a Facebook page up for your business. That's free. You've got to get a Google business listing up for your business. That's free. And then get at least a simple website, because people are going to come to your business listing. You're going to be getting reviews there. If you're not, you need to be. You're going to be getting reviews. You're going to be replying to reviews, engaging with people on your listing. And people who come, who find, hey, maybe they're looking for a gutter service, right? In an area, your Google business listing pops up. They're going to go in, they're going to look at reviews. They're probably going to also go to your website. So make sure you have a website. Google does provide a free website, but they don't look that great. And they don't provide long-term value. So just buy a domain. It costs $10 a year, and even just get a simple website set up on GoDaddy. I don't recommend that as a long-term solution for SEO, but just get a simple website, make a online business card talking about what you do, where you do it, the services you provide, have a click to call button on your website, and a quote form that people can at least get in touch with you and say, hey, it's midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning, and they're like, my wife's been nagging me, I got to get in touch. And then you can build from there.
Making sure they're up to date.
Yeah, definitely make sure they're up to date. And I think following on from that is that's not going to magically provide you business. Neither is getting in touch with a lead, generating service like ours or someone who can help build your brand. That's not going to be enough either. I talk about this all the time. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm just going to throw their money my way once I have a nice, nice website.
I know. I see it all the time with people starting, and they kind of want to come in. They ask in the groups, hey, who does ads, who builds websites? And then they expect everything to kind of just happen, and they're disappointed when their money runs out. That's the first disappointment. But they're disappointed that people aren't just flocking to their door. That can happen. That will happen in a lot of cases, but there's a lot more that you can do. And I talk about the hunter versus the order taker, right? Are you a waiter just taking orders, or are you going out and hunting down people who could be using your services? Now, what does that mean? It could mean in extreme cases. I say extreme, but there's lots of people that do it. Door knocking. We bought internet off a guy that just door knocked us. You still can make money door knocking. It could be passing out business cards to businesses. It could be joining the Chamber of Commerce. It could be joining associations in your area, like property management associations, reaching out to people like that. But there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can do it in Facebook community groups, buy and sell groups, post about what you're doing, post educational value things. But you've got to be out there hunting and looking and adding value to the marketplace so that they know who you are and what you are and what you do. You got to also tell your aunts and uncles and grandparents and family, because if they don't know, then how's the rest of the world going to know?
Yeah, exactly. And this is actually something I was going to say have you heard of the framework Circle of Focus? I know a couple of gurus and knowledgeable people have talked about this framework, but there are a million different things you can do in growing your business and optimizing it, no matter if you're just starting off or if you're established. Yeah. Is having, focus on one or a few platforms or, methods of acquisition and really make those things worth, whether you're, joining networking groups, whether, you run paid ads, whether you're, Chamber of Commerce, like there's all these things. Focus on a couple at a time. Because I've seen this where we sometimes like try and do all the things. And then while that works, then oftentimes you have problems with attribution that's more advanced level there. But how do you know what's working and what's not? So focus on a couple things there. Join a networking group, run a couple ads, optimize your website for SEO, go door knocking, but do a couple things at one to a couple things at a time to really make sure that they're generating and they're actually, what's actually working in your business.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I recommend, coming out guns blazing and then pick a few things exactly like you said and be super consistent with them, whether it's calling 20 business owners a day, whether it's putting out 100 business cards, whether it's dropping off flyers, whether it's door knocking. Pick something and go really hard and consistent at it, and then learn from it and pivot if it's really 100% not working. But don't try something for a week and then throw in the towel. Consistency is key there.
If I can actually pause on that for a second, this is something that I think we both talked about with our clients, the framework of lead indicators and lag indicators of success, right? Yeah. So lead indicators of success means that you're doing the work, you're doing the do, you're out there door knocking, you're trying running ads, you're doing the service, you're doing all of the things that generate the opportunities. And most people, they do that stuff the business starts coming in, then they stop doing those lead indicators of, those things. And then that's where you get this. You get the roller coaster, the revenue roller coaster, where it's up some months and then it's down. You're like, oh, you start rushing and starting to do those things again, and really keeping that consistent, where you focus not just on the lag indicators of success, which is the customers, the leads, the money, the revenue coming in. Focus on those lead indicators of success consistently, month in, month out, and you won't have to. Not to say you won't never have to worry about money again, but it will keep consistent. Through that. So
but moving, before we move over to kind of what you're doing, I will say a couple things. We kind of give like a primer there on what's important, but you do need to, once you have a website, we kind of talked about, hey, build out from it. You can obviously hire someone like us, but there are some key things that you need to do and that you can do. A lot of people can do this, but they just don't want to, right? And so what that comes down to is telling Google specifically what you do, where you do it on your website. Google does not rank websites. Google ranks pages.
Ooh, can you
that's something a lot of people don't know or don't take into consideration. Google does not rank websites. Google ranks pages. So for example, with your website, Google is going to take each page and break down each page as an opportunity to answer questions that people are looking at, right? So if you've only got one page, there's only that one opportunity. If you're a service business, you probably have a lot of different services that you do within your main service. Let's say gutter cleaning, right? There's leaf cleaning, there's spring cleaning, fall cleaning, there's all this stuff, junk removal. There's all these different things inside junk removal, furniture removal, appliance removal, commercial junk removal. Asphalt paving, there's driveways, there's parking lots, there's resurfacing, there's crack filling, right? Each one of those services can be a page, a service page, and not just a service page with, hey, we do crack filling or hey, we do junk removal, but specific content written around that service to educate people, to talk about that service a lot, and to talk about the area that you serve too. So I have the WDOWDY acronym. So what you do and where you do it.
WDOWDY.
Right? WDOWDY. I kind of just started saying that a lot, and so turned it into an acronym, right?
The Lewis original.
Yeah, talk about what you do and where you do it a lot on each page, and then in each service page, get real specific on what you do. Right? Have FAQs for that service page. When you're on sales calls or your sales team is on calls, get them to write down questions that they're commonly asking, and write those in as like FAQs, frequently asked questions with the answer, and that helps people as a sales tool, and it helps Google know more about what you're doing. Because when someone's searching for gutter cleaning or junk removal near you, Google is sorting through the millions of websites out there to find the best solution. Google's selfish. Google wants people to stay on Google and use Google, so it's going to try and provide the best solution. And if you tell Google what you do, where you do it, and make relevant, authoritative content around that, boom, you start becoming a lot higher, more likely to be shown up when people are searching.
100%, absolutely. To simplify, make sure that you're telling Google is there to really serve you. Not really. They're ultimately there to serve the customer, but they're there to serve you as well. They want to help their users, which would be your prospective customers, find the information that's most relevant. So tell Google what they want to know.
And that will serve you well.
That will serve you well.
Exactly.
Amen.